Hello.
Yeah. So today we are doing a stream. We are doing an interview for Antichrist magazine. With me I have Mike, the vocalist, Matilda, the other vocalist, and back home we have Lorenzo, our bass player. And yeah, we're going to do an interview for Antichrist magazine.
Yeah, so let's go to the first questions.
By the way, if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat.
Feel free to leave them in the comments.
Yeah, feel free to have a comment, and after the regular interview we will answer your questions. So this interview will also be out on, I think, YouTube or something.
Yeah, they're promoting us on YouTube. So.
Okay, so it will be on YouTube as well after the interview.
So, first question then. What is the meaning behind the band name? So that's a question for us too.
Yeah, I mean, as we started the band, we had an old band called Netenek, which means neat neck, right? Neat. That's how you say it in English, right?
I'm not.
Net?
I don't
Net?
really know for sure,
It's
to
just
be
a
honest.
literal translation. Like,
Yeah, right?
it's literal, but it doesn't. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, but we had a song called Sarin, and it was first really about the nerve gas, and then later we thought like Sarin also sounds like a really cool band name actually, like a prophet or a god or a demon or something like that. And then we were like having a little bit of wink to band names like Mayhem, the True Mayhem and that kind of stuff. So we were like, the prophecy of Sarin, that could be a cool one. So yeah, that's basically how we came up with the name. It's literally evolved from an old song from an old band.
Yeah. And yeah, the real meaning, there's no real meaning to the band name besides that. All the lyrics of the band are a totally different theme than Sarin Gas.
And I mean, the prophecy of Sarin, it's kind of the prophecy of Sarin, so the old song from the old band, we are the prophecy of it. Something like that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's good.
The descendants.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Legacy.
The legacy. Yeah.
So, second question. Can you tell us a little bit about Axioma? Or maybe Lorenzo, you can take a hit.
Take the wheel.
I don't think I have that much of a say in it because I was not involved in the writing process.
Yeah, but in the last part you were involved with it. A little bit.
I was involved in the release, but that's I recorded the bass tracks, of course.
Yeah.
I reread them. Yeah, but the songs were already there.
Basically, we start writing for Axioma like 1.5 years ago.
Well, 2018.
I think it was 2 years ago actually.
Yeah.
2 years?
It took us 2 years. We took 1 year for the writing process, and then we took 1 year to record it.
Yeah, and basically Axioma is like all the demo songs from making this band happen, because we have this really weird mix between metal genres. We play death, black, god metal, doom metal, and we mix that. And basically Axioma is the process of building this band, building the sound of this.
It's kind of the foundation, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a foundation we built, lay down.
It's just a big,
Sound.
like, what can you expect from us? Like in the most like big like thing we could come up with. Like we mixed like as many genres as we could for this one, but still have an identity, like in the sound and in the writing process, in the compositions. I think that's what Axioma is.
Yeah. So it's a bit of it's more a compilation album than really. It's not really an album. It's a compilation. So that's also the reason it's an EP and not a full length release. We did have the material to make a full length, but we believe these are our best songs right now, or at that time, and we just released those songs.
Yeah, we actually have like at the moment, like at the time that we released the EP Axioma, we actually had already I think four more songs written, but we are now trying to kind of rewrite them to let them fit into the album, you know, taking them one step up. And
we are trying to innovate upon those tracks and make them coherent as well. I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the next release. So
Yeah.
we're going to discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about the lyrics on this release? Well, I start with you then.
Well, so most of the lyrics are written by Mike because I feel like he has the most in-depth knowledge about the things that we write about, and the lyrics are mostly based on religions, titans, and actually the most part of it is about the AI that's taking over the world. In everyday life we see it as the robots are becoming more and more involved in our lives, and this is kind of like a look into the future of how it will be when the AI takes over. And a lot of parts of the songs also involve titans, gods. We talk a lot about the Lucifer or the Morning Star, or however you will call it, because it does come up in every religion. So this is kind of the main theme that we go with.
Yeah, it's basically a sci-fi story about the end of the physical existence of humanity. So we're going to be mixed with robots, or be one with our technology, and basically that's our story. I think maybe we can. In the future, we will release the full sci-fi religion story of Sarin and make it a little bit more clear for the people who are interested.
Yeah, because now it's kind of mysterious, but like the song that's playing right now, Submit, I feel like the words I submit that Mike is singing kind of show you that like we as humans submit to the AI that is taking over right now, and that we're going into that dark, mysterious thing that we're writing about.
Yeah. Next!
Next!
Can you tell us a little bit about the album cover art?
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm the one who made it, so I'm going to tell, I guess. It's basically nebula, like space nebula, stars and things.
You see it on the back, like on the.
Yeah.
You can see it on the background right now.
Around.
And I was doing a little bit of experimentation with video software, and when I copied the content, like mirrored two sides, I could see faces in it. And I thought that's really interesting because we have titans in our lyrics and like gods in our lyrics, and I was seeing like the faces of the gods in the nebula, and I think it's really cool to make that a thing for our album, and it's all based on that video footage I came across. So yeah, that's basically it.
And the CD, the CD itself was made by me. It's kind of not coherent with the rest because of the Mike has this beautiful story about like seeing faces in the nebulas, and I just made a very literal thing on the CD itself, where a robot is actually awaiting in front of a tunnel, and you can take it as as you wish. You can interpret it in your own way, but I thought it really suits the theme because you can see a little dot of light in the tunnel. You can see the light in the tunnel, and the robot is actually looking in it, so it's seeing its path on the way to take over the human. That's how I saw it, so
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool to put it on the CD.
It's a beautiful metaphor.
You right? Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your cooperation with Via Nocturna? Sure, it's our record label. I don't know for sure how they approach us.
I think it went because I was in contact with them because it is a Polish label and I'm Polish. And I think they contacted us on Instagram saying, do we need a label? I think it went like that. And I just said, yeah, sure. And we started talking and we exchanged emails and that's how our cooperation started. And we basically almost immediately signed up with them. And I was the contact person for the whole process.
And we thought it would be really awesome to have your first release released by a record label. So and there were more labels interested, but most of them, they just want to release us digital, and that's like the most easiest thing ever. So don't do that, because it's like $25 and you can upload everything to Spotify and Deezer and things
You
like
can
that.
do it yourself. So.
And you can do a lot of the promotion yourself. So record labels who do that, I wouldn't recommend working with them. But Via Nocturna released us on CD, so I thought that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean if you start off with a band, it's so important to have like visual stuff. Like also
physical release,
stuff.
yeah.
You need some like visual stuff, physical and visual stuff. That's really really important. Like yeah, I mean if you can do that for your first release, that's just great. I mean, I think yeah, that's a really good thing to do, and I think we made the very right choice to co-op with Via Nocturna on this release.
And I just love how we are mostly a Dutch band.
We're based in the Netherlands, but you're the only Polish.
I am the only Polish part of this whole band, and then a Polish label contacts us. So I was just so happy we could work with them because that made this whole thing a little bit more Polish, I think. I don't know. I was just so happy that they messaged us.
Yeah, and hopefully when COVID ends, we can maybe come to Poland one day.
Oh, we are.
Oh yeah.
If my life depends on it, we are.
So next question: do you think it's important to have a record label? It depends. I think.
Depends. Yeah.
It really depends.
If it brings an advantage, something you can properly make use of, sure, why not?
Yeah, like for us, we started out this year to promote the band. Like we started off like 2 years ago at least, like almost 3 actually. Like right now it's 3 years, and but last year was just standing still, as like everyone knows. But for us to start out with, it was like a really good thing that we did the label.
And also just to learn how the music business is working.
I mean, if you're an established band, I see why you wouldn't, that you want to release it on your own, because nowadays it's so easy. But to start out with, if you have the chance, if you have a label that's doing some nice PR for you, it's really good actually to have one of those for you.
Well, and I've learned from the label how to do promotion. I just saw what they did and I copy it and I expand it and so it's basically really good for your learning process. if you think you don't need that and you want to be really independent, upload your own music, press your own CDs, sell them on your web store. You can do it all by yourself, but I think in the first like 2 years of you creating releases, you need a label.
It's a great way to start out building your repertoire. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. All right. The next one is for you, Lorenzo.
All right.
Do you have any postpone?
Shall I read it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Have you had to postpone many shows due to COVID-19?
We did. Back when I joined the band, that was last year actually. I believe it's almost a year ago when I joined. We had some rehearsals. Of course, I joined the band. They were glad you guys were. Yeah, I mean, we had gigs scheduled indeed. And then, of course, the lockdown happened and the gigs were cancelled. So, yeah, even in the past few months, say since 3 months ago, we tried to book some gigs again, and also these ones were cancelled.
Yeah, like we would have played in Arnhem in a week if it wasn't for COVID, because we already planned it, everything was set, but well, COVID struck and now we're not playing anymore. And we would have played literally in a week.
Yeah,
So
now,
that's frustrating.
from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we wanted to have some like smaller events
Yeah.
in the COVID time, you know, because it was a bit better here, and then we had these small events going on, like tryout events.
Yeah, for a little time
For
you
a
could
little-
do
yeah.
something.
Yeah, especially it was really bad in the start. We almost played one show with Unleash the Archers actually, which would have been a great debut show. But yeah, like then COVID hit and we tried to do something, but especially at the moment for the next at least week or 2 weeks, we will have nothing going on and nothing at all. And maybe after that like period, maybe in far late this year, maybe at the start of next year, we might have a couple of shows in our own country, but I think that we won't make it outside of this country for the next couple of months at least.
I think maybe
Maybe.
in the end of 2021.
Yeah.
But I
But that
don't
won't
really
be far
see
either. It wouldn't be far.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm really me myself at this point. Just,
Yeah, I'm
I
going
don't
to
know
be.
what to expect, so I have zero expectations. We're gonna give it our all. We're gonna give it our best. Don't get me wrong, but for right now, we just don't know what we're gonna be able to do.
No, because every time we have a show, the government regulations are going up, and we're cancelled. So we don't know yet. Maybe in a few months.
All we can do is hope. All we can do is hope. Things will get better.
Well, let's hope so.
We'll have the opportunity to play at least a few gigs. I'd be very happy if it even was one gig opportunity we could take. That would not be postponed or cancelled.
Again.
I'd love to see that happen.
It's funny, but it's the most frustrating thing for a new band like us.
Yeah, especially when we're ready to play.
On the other side,
We are very eager.
On the other side, we are working on a new album right now, and the latest one is just released, like 2 months now,
Yeah.
and we're like 20% in the next one. So we're going to release a full length. I hope really soon.
Been busy.
Anyway, next question, and this one is for all of us. Any new music that has impressed you? Well, for me, if I can start, it was the latest Blood Out North. It was a really, really amazing album, and I really enjoyed it. And I recommend you listen to it. And you?
Well, I haven't been discovering that much new music lately. I liked the
There's a
band.
lot coming out like this year.
Yeah, but I didn't really follow it. I like this band that we discovered one day, like Isom, the one that also had Nisha from Alcest. This droney music with the lady singing.
Oh yeah,
Really-
that was cool.
Isom, yeah. That was a pretty nice one. Beside that, new music.
I said pick one, next.
Oh wait! The new Dr. Killity. New Dr. Killity
yeah.
is really, really
Final
good.
answer?
Yes,
Final answer.
those two. Yes, definitely.
Okay, do you really want to know for me?
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Okay. Okay, so Dark Sarah. I'm sorry, guys, I don't listen to black metal.
We don't either.
But I really love the new album from Dark Sarah. They also have a story, you know, throughout all the albums, like we do. And
What is Dark Star? I don't know that.
You saw them.
I showed you.
The
Oh,
opera.
the
Where they were
opera.
dancing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
opera music.
Yeah,
musical.
so they have a story that goes through all their albums, and we kind of have that. I just like stories, and I love her voice, and yeah, that was it for me.
Well, and Lorenzo.
Yeah, get ready to be starstruck. I'm actually really into black metal, but
Miley Cyrus.
for the last few months, I actually got into lo-fi hip hop quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big surprise, but
So that's
I
the
also
reason you're
like,
sending us all those hip hop tracks.
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah,
But it's like really dark hip hop. It's like
it's really dark. Especially, I'm gonna give a few words on that. I really got into Joji, the guy who used to be Filthy Frank. Probably some of you know him. I really got into his music the last 2 months, maybe, and it actually inspired me to make similar music. But once again, my sound, the stuff I write, is very, very melancholic. So of course it's gonna have that kind of influence in it. Yeah, I also like stuff like Ghostman and such. That's also something I've been listening to for quite a while. That I really got into.
yeah, cool. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Actually, come on.
How do you feel the COVID-19 pandemic will affect the music scene? I think the music scene is going to be back at where we left it. Maybe more live stream thingies, but there are a lot of albums coming from the pandemic because all artists are writing music right now, so the next 2 years are going to be mad with releases.
It's going to be like a baby boom, but with albums.
Yeah, it's going
We can call this the album boom generation.
I'm guess this will happen. So
I'm very much expecting it, but okay.
I mean, I feel like it's already affected the music scene short term because the bands that are small like us couldn't really get their starts because everything was cancelled or they couldn't even book a show or they couldn't release possibly, maybe, I don't know. So it's affecting the new bands right now much. Big bands can't tour, can't have concerts, so it's very hard money wise. But in the long term, like Mike said, we're just gonna go where we left. There are some bands that had to stop, sadly, because of the pandemic, because they just couldn't do it without the money from the tours and everything. But hopefully we'll just go back to where we started. Yeah.
Well,
And I really think, especially for the metalheads, they're so passionate about their concerts and their festivals. It's going to be back.
Yep. Big time.
In,
Of course,
in one way or another, but I don't think it will affect the live music scene
In the end.
In the end.
Yeah.
yeah, depends on. Yeah, of course, venues are gonna have to make a big recovery after the pandemic. But for sure, there's gonna be plenty of opportunities for bands to play. You can also probably expect more more beginning bands to have a bigger repertoire, like more investments into their their live, what's it called? Just their live repertoire. More music of more quality, because people can't gig, people have to spend more time maybe in their rehearsing rooms, maybe at home writing music, or their home studios.
Well, to be honest, I think there will be a lot of crappy black metal demo, like one-man bands who think they. I don't agree with you on this one.
I mean, yes and no. I think there's also going to be plenty.
Well,
The project. I don't mean to say bands with a live repertoire or just one-man projects per se amateuristic, but I do believe there's gonna be musicians with more experience that of course work on music for themselves right now, and I absolutely think that's gonna make a big bang the upcoming year, perhaps.
Let's hope so. Right, next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your local music scene? Well, it's a little bit of a hard one for us, because we have members from all around the Netherlands, and there are different scenes in the Netherlands. So, for instance, Jari and well, basically we came from the middle of the Netherlands, and there's this big black metal scene in Utrecht, and that's also a place where we are rehearsing. But Lorenzo is from The Hague, and there's also a metal scene, really active. And we have Rick, our drummer. He's from Eindhoven, famous from the Dynamo festival. And there's also still a really big metal scene. So basically, I hope we can play with all those bands from all the scenes. And basically, the Netherlands is a really small country. So
And Mickey, where does he come from?
he's from Brabant, so also the scene from Eindhoven.
Oh, that's the same thing. Okay.
Kind of same.
But yeah, it's like the whole of Netherlands is mostly one scene. I think.
Yeah, if you think about
Maybe,
metal,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, big like black metal scene, like that one. I think.
Well, there's a lot of black metal coming from Utrecht, but it's
also death metal, which is big, like Gothic Front and S6. Then you have like.
Well, death metal is more Rotterdam and The Hague,
Yeah.
I guess. But
like,
it's not really. They're not local scenes, because when you're in the scene from Utrecht, you also play in The Hague or Eindhoven. So
everything is so close to each other.
Yeah.
But the
It's
city,
nearby. It's in a half an
Yeah.
hour drive to get anywhere.
but the city where I live, there used to be a metal scene, but right now there is really no concert. Like right now, of course, not because of Corona, but even before Corona, there were no metal concerts in the city where I live. There used to be, but then the venue closed. So if you speak about local, the place where I come from, there's nothing
nothing anymore.
anymore.
There used to be
in
five
the
death
past.
metal bands.
Yeah.
to.
But then it all went to shit.
Yeah. But we're going to light that up, maybe.
Yeah.
What are the future plans for the prophecy of Sarin? Well, we tell a little bit about it, but basically we're writing a new album, full length right now.
With everyone's input.
You can hear on Axioma, you can hear death metal, black metal, doom, god metal. And on the album, I can maybe say there's also going to be power metal, and there's going to be maybe some hip hop, and there's also going to be some industrial metal like Fear Factory, gent kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a mix of all of us. We all put input into all the songs, and it's gonna be a crazy mix, but it's gonna be a good mix. We're trying to keep it cohesive still.
So if you think Axioma is a weird release, then the next one is going to blow your fucking mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also the story from the lyrics is going to be bigger and more detailed. And the quality of the recordings are going to be a lot better. Because we have Rick and Lorenzo, and we have an actual bass player, we have an actual drummer right now, and on Axioma we did most of the stuff.
Yeah, we did almost everything.
Yeah, with Mickey and you.
It was more homey than really professional studio vibe.
We're like recording with a really small mixing desk, and it wasn't a studio setup.
Yeah, it was homey.
But it sounded quite good for the gear we had.
It sounded great for a home production.
Yeah, it sounded
Yeah,
great.
we did have like 800 euros of gear, and that's it. And we recorded with that, and that's it. And
But next time,
I think you can hear it on the album,
Yeah.
to be honest. But it's our first release.
shit happens.
Well, we have to. We need to have something we can improve. So now we have something.
That's the only thing we can improve. Yeah, so next time it will be better.
So that are the questions from Antichrist magazine. Please subscribe to their YouTube channel. Subscribe to our channels.
Listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah, we have merch on our website.
Follow my boy Yari on his Twitch, where he's streaming right now.
Yeah,
If you haven't already.
Yeah.
nice.
Oh,
Just like I did.
We have some questions from the chat, or
Oh, those are not really questions. Someone just asked us to drink more.
Jeff said that we should drink a lot.
we should. Okay.
We already do
I have
that.
no booze.
We have another interview, so we're going to crack open a cold one. And
Checking the
well,
code
thanks for
on
watching.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you
love
for
you.
being here, Lorenzo. Thank you.
Yeah.
And,
no more questions. Nah. We yeah.
No
I don't think
questions.
so.
Anyway,
Okay.
goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Doei.